ahead and install the membrane. On the membrane we have the orange guides for the cutting of the stems. It gives you the perfect dimension or perfect distance outside the valve. Anything in orange is for installation purposes only. So when we're done, these will be removed and the lock rings will be removed. When putting the membrane on, make sure that these rings are locked in place so the stems don't open and close on you. And also notice the thermo handle is in place on the membrane, and it's covered with this cardboard sleeve. Leave the sleeve in place so the handle does not get damaged. So we're just going to push it on and seat it all the way back. And we're going to make sure it stays in place by using these 4 brass screws. And then just tighten up the screws. And now we can move on to cutting down the stems. The next step is to cut the stems. So we're going to have to cut the 2 black stems. The stems must be flush with the orange template. So here we're using a hacksaw, and we're going to take our time and cut it slow so that we get a nice flush cut. Get the second one done. If you noticed, I've been trying to stay as far away from that cardboard sleeve and the thermal handle as much as possible. I just don't want to nick it or hit it, damaging the finish. Even though it has the cardboard on it, just don't want to take that chance. Okay, that looks good. Now that we have the stems cut back, we're going to go ahead and remove the membrane. So that means removing the 4 Phillip head screws. And now that we have the stems cut, we can remove the guides. And they just simply snap off. And we can remove the orange clips that hold the stems closed. And these are just 1/4 turn locking clips. And we can install the knobs. Okay, to install the knobs, you have your little plastic guide ring. And on the inside of the membrane, you can see it's cut out. And with that cutout, on the knob, you can see there's a rectangular protrusion. You just want to make sure it gets into that cutout, and these will snap into place. When you put the membrane back onto the valve, you want to make sure the knobs are turned fully clockwise. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the membrane back in place, but first, being the rough box has been roughed to the max rough in dimension, I'm going to need these little extensions, and these will only go on one way, and they just simply snap into place. And then on the extension, the sleeve, you can see there's the protrusion there. That will line up with the inside of the volume handle itself. So when you push it on, they will lock into place. You can just give them a turn. You can feel that it's locked in. And then go ahead and reinstall the 4 brass screws. Okay. The next step would be to install the green button holders. And these simply thread onto the stems that we just cut back. So let's thread that on. So we have a shower head and a handheld shower. In this case, the shower head will go in on the left side, and it'll snap in place. And the handheld on the right, it just snaps in as well. And if cut right, they should be pretty much flush with the chrome button. On, off, on, off. So now we can finally remove the black sleeve off the thermo handle and snap on the escutcheon plate. And it just fits over and pushes in place. And then you have your cap for the thermo handle. There's a slight bevel on the cap. That goes down in the 6 o'clock position. That's so if you need to get in there, you can take a small screwdriver or a razor knife and pop it open. And that's the extent of it.